Delta real quick, one of those Greeks. So I'm looking at placing a trade for square or block right now. It's been hovering between, what is this, like, yeah, like the 50s and touching 80, barely. It's tried 80 several times, so I feel like it might be ripe for blasting through that if it goes to the upside. I don't know what would make it do that, but if it did, the resistance is probably fading here. It's tried 3 times, and yeah, fourth time might be the charm. It got down to 38 though. I was actually long it when it went down here. That was rough times, but I got out of it around here. Didn't expect it to go back up to 80, but it did. Here we are though. Back at 65, we're going to talk about deltas in a sec. So I'm seeing it with the resistance around 55. The expected move though is around $11, which is right here. I don't like doing it at the expected move. I like to go at least double. So let's see, maybe around the 45 range. I'm on Webull right now. I'm going to switch over to trade on Tasty Trade though. I don't like trading on Webull, but I like the charts and the functionality. So obviously here you've got your resistance, but I personally don't think that that's strong enough anymore, so I'm going to bump it up a little more here. So $85, which is a double the expected move, and then $45 is double the expected move to the downside. If I'm doing a iron condor, if I'm selling an iron condor, I'm going to be selling premium for this earnings trade. So let's go back over here. I've got it pulled up. So the April expiration gives me plenty of time to adjust or play defense if it blows towards or past strikes. I'm going to probably go for a strangle, though, because Tasty Trade will afford me some buying power reductions on this. If you want to learn more about that, put it in the comments. I can talk more about that, or send me a DM on Instagram or YouTube, however that works, and we can talk about setting up an account. I think there's a way we both get like $250 or something like that to set you up. Anyway, for a referral kind of thing. So let's see. We're going to look at deltas. 7 is the delta here. You see that. Another way to think about delta is like the percentage that it gets touched. Touched being if the stock price goes to 45, like 45.00. If it touches that, it's kind of a loose way to think about delta, easier way to comprehend it. The flip side is if it's 7 out of 100, it's 93% probability that it will expire above 45, and that's like a 77% chance it expires at or below 45. It's a very easy, loose way to think about delta. This is, of course, taking into account the rule or the law of large numbers. No one knows, but this is essentially what the market is betting, and the market is every single participant and how they're placing trades, the quantity, or sorry, the volume, the frequency, the price, at which price, all that is taking into account. A lot of that's by the Black-Scholes model. So that's kind of what you have to go off of. It is not a fact, of course. If it was, geez, everyone would be a millionaire. So, all right. So 45 is where I was liking it. That's twice the expected move. Earnings are today, I believe. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in a couple days. All right, whatever. So let's look at it. We're here. Let's do this. $45. I'm gonna sell that 55 cent to 58 cent strike right there, and let's just review that. That is only gonna affect my buying power $901. You see right there, reduced buy. That's great. Other platforms would have to be cash secured put. Tasty's allowing me to do it for $900, but I'm gonna do the flip side. Yeah, if I were to make that a condor, I'm sorry, a credit spread, yeah, I'm only getting $26, and I'm using 400. Don't like that, so I'm gonna delete that. Let's see. The implied volatility is big right now too. All right, so right, 85 to the upside. That looks like way more juice. Jeez. Okay. All right, so it seems like if you notice that skew right there, this is a great exercise on skew and implied volatility, jumping in what direction the market thinks. This is perfect. The stock is basically pinned at 65 right now. Exactly $20 below is you're only collecting 55 cents on the bid side. And exactly $20 to the upside is more than double that. So the skew is what you would call it. There's more juice for the exact same length of a directional move to the upside. This is very noticeable. So watch this delta. Yeah, 17. It's 10 more percentage points more. The other one was 7 delta. If you see here, this delta column. Man, okay. This is turning out to be a longer video than I expected. So now this is making me a little more nervous. If it does, so I was completely, I am, I guess what you call it, validated with the fact that I was thinking that resistance to the upside over here was a little weak, because it seems like the market also agrees that a move to the upside, if it's a move to the upside, it could potentially be strong and blow through this resistance. It has tried. Let's look. I'm going to go to the weekly chart here to get a better view maybe of the volume of those peaks. I'm not noticing much of a difference at these peaks of volume. There's a decent sell. Seems like there's always been a quick and swift drop the week following or 2 weeks following that peak. Not quite there, but there's one. There's one. So it's been a strong sell-off there on those peaks. Back to the daily chart. Oh, right. Daily chart showing those peaks. It does look like... Oh, there's that steep drop. Oh, it was earnings. Okay. This was right after earnings. I'm getting too much into the fundamentals now. I tend not to, but I just kind of look at... I guess this is technical analysis, but it involves earnings. I don't know. It starts to get out of my realm when I start thinking too much of that. I'm not feeling it as much anymore. All right. So you saw that. So the market agrees. I don't like being on the same side as everyone else, but at some point you got to understand, law of large numbers. There we go. So I'll bump it up a little bit. Like to be a little bit further out from what the market expects. Again, I don't know anything about what Square is going to report or what their key metrics are. I'm sure it's something along the lines of like how many patrons use their terminals, and like how Facebook has like average daily users, and like Snapchat has that too. Square has its own metrics. I'm sure. I don't know them. I'm not going to waste time on their earnings calls and things like that. I'm just going to go off what the market does in reaction to the news that gets put out. I don't care. I'm not wasting time on that. It's always different. They could blow out earnings and have a beautiful whatever, but then the earnings call, they just say something. They just say one word, and then the stock, like you can't. It to me, it's just a fool's errand trying to chase that and guess based off of fundamentals and all that. They're important for a business and its growth and development and shareholders. Sure, I'm not a shareholder. I'm just trying to swim around in the sea of shareholders and basically bet around them, kind of. So here we are. Back to it. Sorry for the rant. Still collecting $1 up here on a 14 delta, which is more than twice the expected move. You see up here to the right, top right, right above this mark, you'll see, I'm not going to touch it because it'll collapse this month of strikes, but 11.30, that's the expected move. So this is twice that above, and then right here you see the 1 SD, 1 standard deviation. And you're collecting $1.62 back down here credit. And on this platform, it is only using $1,300 in buying power. That seems great. That's more than a 10% return on your money if you hold it to expiration. I'm probably going to get out of it around 50%. So then I will collect maybe like 6% on my money that's put at risk in a matter of like 2 weeks. So 6% on your return in 2 weeks, multiply that out 2 weeks over and over and over for a year. You do that 26 times in a year. It's like a 2 week chunk. 666% compounded. That seems great. That's of course if you get it. If you play defense, you play defense, and the return is not as great, but then you're still getting a decent return. You're probably still coming out above, the typical standard 7% gain that the market does on average, whatever. This is a way that you can be active and participate and manage it yourself and figure it out and do better than the market. And I've been doing that the last couple of years, and I'm starting to share my process with you. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. Oh yeah, this is a time I should say. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a financial advisor. This is educational and informational purposes only. I'm just sharing what I've done. Don't take it too serious. Just learn from it. So I'm going to submit this right here. See what we get. And I'll come back on after earnings and talk about this trade. I'm all right playing defense. I'm all right taking a loss. All right, it's not filling. So I'm going to hit replace real quick. We're just going to drop it down. Let's go to 160. I will collect 160 on that. Looks like it filled. There you go. You see a little icon at the top, and it'll say it. It filled. I'll just go here. There it is. Filled right there. That F right here. So I got 160 on it. Let's go. Stay safe out there, everybody. If you like these longer form videos, this was supposed to be short for like a YouTube short, and then I started noticing things and just went off. So thanks for joining me on this ride. But yeah, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. I know I probably went real fast. You might say, what's this? What's that? I hope I explained delta a little bit there. You might have been confused by that, but that's honestly an easy way to just understand what delta is. It's just that is essentially what the market is betting, the percentage of it touching that strike by expiration, whatever expiration you're on. This one was April, mid-April, the monthly. And that's an easy way to just think about it. You don't have to think about it too much harder than that. A lot of people like to and do and all that. I just think it's a waste of time. Sorry. But yeah, if this kind of style resonates with you, please subscribe. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying talking to you guys about it. Take care.